Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So to close out our week, we're doing Purple Tribal Garurumon. This is going to be probably the last of the just fun, generic, themed BT5 decks. Next week, we're going to go back into a little bit of the meta BT5, but we're going to go on something completely different. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be something you probably wouldn't expect at all. But let's go ahead and finish this week out strong with Purple Tribal Garurumon. Don't forget our memory markers for the month of September is Digimon. So if you want one of these amazing little memory markers, if you're going to be playing Jessmon or any other kind of red deck, even a Musketeers deck, this will be a great memory marker for that. These are handmade out of clay by my wife. So check the link in the description below for Patreon for these. Now, if you want to get any of our previous memory markers, check the coffee link in the description below. And there you can order all of the new revised versions of our previous memory markers. The only stipulation is the ones that we offer on Patreon, you get a whole month before they ever even go live on coffee. So there is a benefit of ordering through the Patreon link instead of the coffee link. You get the most current one a whole month before anyone else does. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So this is Tribal Garurumon, so you can expect a lot of Gabumons. We got the Nokias in here to play them for free. And we're kind of combining two different strategies. We're doing a little bit of the purple OTK strategy with Crest Garurumon, simply because with Nokia, you can actually suspend the Nokia to reduce the Evo cost of Crest Garurumon down to 3. And then if you have a memory fixer on field, you can still swing immediately in that turn. So very, very good. And then we're also combining the old Metal Garurumon, the Digiburst 2, play a 7 cost option for free. So we're doing a little bit of that, a little bit of purple control with the Crest or with the Metal Garurumon, and a little bit of purple OTK with the Crest Garurumon. So yeah, that's the overall strategy. So let's get into the card by card. First up, we got Demi Maramon. This is still just going to be forever. It feels like the best egg in purple. Just on deletion, draw 1, trash 1. It's just really, really good. It only gets better, honestly. Looking at cards in BT7, this thing is just phenomenal. Being able to trash stuff like Eismon and things like that. Demi Maramon's sticking around for a long time. We do have a 5th egg in here. I went with the Chalmon to give that retaliation on your own turn if you have 10 or more cards in trash. Simply because, yes, we do have half the deck as purple OTK, but the other half is still just the raw, like, control purple aspect, right? So it can be grindy at times. So we do have the 5th egg in here, but I will say it's not necessarily a must-have. We don't do a whole lot of milling or anything like that, so getting 10 cards in trash can take a bit of time, but I wanted just to throw it in there anyway, just for fun. Next up, we got the Gabu Mon Package, and first up, we have an amazing card. This is the Gabu Mon from way back in BT2, the inheritable of on deletion, trigger, draw 2, trash 1, so like a super version of Demi Maramon over here. And with Demi Maramon being used in tons of decks, you can see why Gabu Mon is just like a great include to have. You Digivolve it on top of the Demi Maramon to get like a super set of draws, or you can just hard play it with the Nokia, just set up for, an immediate evolve on top of it. Something like a blocker works great on top of Gabumon, this one right here. Next up, we've got the starter deck Gabumon for purple. This is the inheritable when attacking, trigger, draw 1, then trash 1. So we're doing a whole lot of the same stuff. We're drawing into the pieces we need. I know I said it's kind of difficult to get 10 cards in trash. Yes and no. I mean, purple has tons of discards, so that does help with the Chalmon. But at the same time, it's not like crazy. You're not really focusing on trashing cards. It just happens to be what you do in addition to the draw. And the draw is important just to get into your combo pieces, right? So if you're going for the OTK strategy, you got most of the OTK cards in your hand, you're drawing into the rest of the pieces you need. Or if you're going into the control aspect, you really want to get into those correct options that you want for the situation that you're in to use with the Metal Garurumon. All these draw effects are really, really important for that. All right, next up is just some kind of common includes, right? First up, we've got Gazimon. This is just your memory blocker, pretty standard memory gain. is pretty common overall in this game. So being able to stop that is just super important. So just I mean, you're never going to go wrong with having a memory blocker. There's just too many things in the meta if you do want to play this in any sort of competitive environment where blocking memory gain is going to be relevant. So two Gazimon for sure. Next up, we've got the Drachmon here. And the only reason the Drachmon is here is simply because we are playing the 7 cost options to go with the Metal Garurumon. So getting back those copies is going to be pretty relevant. Stuff like Nailbone, things like that. Drachmon, just a 2 of, just in case. You know, it's not like a must-have, you know, this is pivotal. It's more of just if the game gets grindy and you need to get those options back to use with your Metal Garurumon, Drachmon's pretty nice for that include. Next up, we got our level 4 package here. First up, we got the Garurumon from the starter deck. This is just another one of when attacking, draw 1, trash 1. Just combos great with the other Gabumon from the starter deck, so that you're drawing 2, trashing 2. Really just makes the deck super consistent. Evolving into this guy with Nokia, he's a 1 cost Evo, so that's really good for like consistency. So you're getting like tons of draw power with this deck for a really cheap kind of Evo cost to do it all. So really digging that. Next up, and also the draw factor is pretty important because, like I said, we are playing 2 different strategies in one deck, which sometimes can conflict. The fact that they're all like Garurumon-based stuff is really important because of cards like Nokia just bumping up the consistency. Next, we've got Garurumon from BT2, and this is the one, once per turn on your turn, when one of your other Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. This is one of the important cards for the OTK strategy, right? So you're going to be popping one of your things with your Garurumon, one of your Digimon to unsuspend, and that's going to trigger your Garurumon here to gain you 1 memory back, just for a little bit of extra, you know, control. You don't want to, you know, a little bit of choke power. You don't want to give your opponent too much memory. So he's just a nice include for if you're building up your stack to go into an OTK style stack. You know, this Garurumon is great for that. And then we've got just the 4 of Devimon. A little bit of, you know, protection goes a long way. 1 cost Evo is like the main thing here. That turn 1, you know, you Digivolve into like your Gabumon in Raising, and then throw down a Devimon on top of him for 1 to pass to your opponent is always just like an ideal play, honestly. And then just the fact that he's a blocker is cool. If you need a blocker in like an emergency situation, he's great for that. Besides that, he's just kind of a cheap Evo cost to stair step into your level 5s and your level 6s. So he serves two roles basically in this. He's not 100% we need a blocker. If that was the case, I would play a different blocker with a little bit more DP. But he serves a really good purpose of just climbing into our megas as fast as possible. Next up, we've got the Garurumons, and first we've got the old BT2 one. This is one that's your main go-to for OTK. So when attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. So really good for just that OTK. So you're going to be swinging with Crest Garurumon for essentially 4 security with the Garurumon here. And then the other Garurumon we have, this is from the new starter deck. While there are 5 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon gets plus 2,000 DP. You know, he's not like super pivotal or anything like that for the strategy. He's just kind of a neat include. Sometimes certain things in security can be a bit hard to get over, so just a little bit of a DP boost, just knowing your matchup and what you could hit in security. You know, going with this Garurumon, maybe you don't need to go for like 4 security checks. You just need to be able to survive the 2 security checks that you're going to do. This Garurumon could be pretty important for that, as well as, again, he's the name Garurumon, or Garurumon in the name, so we can always use Nokia on him to reduce his Evo cost. And that's what sometimes it's more of having the Garurumon name than it is anything else. So that's what we're here for. And then I do have the 2 Skull Maramons. Simply because I like the level 5, that 5 cost drop there, you know, it's just really nice. Yes, it does conflict with our Digibursting a little bit. It could be that we just want the 2-cost Evo in Raising Area because we can't use Nokia on these guys in Raising Area. So Skullmera to go into Raising Area is kind of important. But also, if I just want a hard play, slam down that 5-cost and then go into a Garurumon on the following turn for like 3 memory because of Nokia, and then just swing with 2 security, doing 2 security checks out of him, that's completely viable as well. So it's not completely out of the question. So just the 2 of there. All right, next we're going to get into the cards we've been talking about a whole bunch. First, we got Garurumon. He's got that security tag +1 just innately there. He's a 4-cost Evo normally, but if you promote your level 5 up and then use Nokia to reduce him down 1, that's 3. And with a memory fixer, you're right there, right on the money. 12,000 DP is solid. If this is our main attacker going into security, this is a very solid DP because most megas are sitting at the 11,000 DP innately. So that 12,000 is very, very good. The other thing, though, that really makes this deck pop off for the OTK side is just this Digiburst 2. You can play a level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So what you do is you pop something, you swing with your Garurumon, pop something with your Garurumon here to unsuspend, and then you can bring it back. Also, if you don't have a rookie on field and you went straight into the Garurumon, before you even attack, just Digiburst your egg and your rookie away. Make sure it's the rookie. It could be the egg or the level 4, depending on what your level 4 is. But just do that. Get rid of your rookie with the Digiburst, and then bring that exact rookie back. Even if you don't have any other rookies in trash, the one you just Digibursted away can come back, which is super important. So then you can always make sure that your Garurumon combo is live. That's just really great that he just makes sure himself is good to go, so he can set up his own board to go off on, which is really, really cool. Next up, we got the Garurumon. This is the Digiburst 2 to use a purple option card with a memory cost of 7 or less in your hand without paying its memory cost. So if you can't get into your OTK for whatever reason, or you can't get into whatever other play you're trying to get into, and you just really need to control the board because your opponent's got too much pressure on, go into the Garurumon instead. 3-cost Evo is fine as long as you got your memory fixer out. We do have tons of draw power in this deck, so being able to draw into your tamer, your memory fixing tamer, is a lot more reasonable than in other decks. So yeah, Digiburst 2, play one, a Trump Sword or a Nailbone to just get back into the fight. Very good stuff there on the Garurumon. And then once you use this ability, and it's not once per turn, so if you have a full stack underneath, you can use 2 options, which is really, really powerful for sure. That's 14 memory of options that you get to use for free. But once he blows his load, essentially, then just drop the Zwart on top of him. Get back, your level 5 that you just Digibursted away off of him. Get that back, all that kind of stuff. Just get that board presence back, and that's what Zwart's all about. If you've ever gone against a Zwart, sometimes just him coming down for that 6 Evo cost, bringing out a whole bunch of Digimon that have blocker or whatever, or just level 5s that are setting up big plays for level 6s. He's very oppressive. He's a very, very good card. 15,000 DP is massive. It's a lot better than a lot of the other Omnimon knockoffs. So yeah, he's competing up there with the big dogs with that 15,000 DP. Also, when attacking, you may return one level 6 Digimon card in its Digimon's Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less. 12 or less is pretty much most megas in this game. You're not going to be able to bounce like other Omnimons and things like that, or Chaosmons, but pretty much all other megas you're going to be able to bounce back to hand, and that's pretty important. They do have to be unsuspended, so always remember that. But another just great control factor. So if you went with the Garurumon here, you Digiburst all of his Digivolution sources away, got some nice control, then go with a Zwart, and then Zwart can swing, bounce the Garurumon back to hand. So Zwart has no Digivolution sources, which is, depending on your matchup, really, really nice, because they can't de-digivolve you at all. So if you're going against something that's got a lot of de-digivolve like black, Zwart is basically untouchable for them, and that's really cool. Now if you're going against Hexablaumon, you might really consider doing that or not. So just kind of know your matchups on if that's a good idea or not. But yeah, so getting rid of all your Digivolution sources can kind of be a big boon. So yeah, Zort's just very, very cool card. He's always just like kind of the go-to now for your level 7s in a lot of decks for black and purple, simply because almost when is that never not a good thing is just to get 2 bodies back on field and a bounce of, or a destruction, not even a bounce, sorry. It is a full delete of a play coster 12. So yeah, what a crazy good card. Next up, we do have the Nokias here, and unfortunately, we don't get the same amount of utility as the blue version does, because all of the Gabumons that we have that we can play for free don't have on-play effects, and that's kind of a big bummer here. There is a variant where you can play the blue Gabumon that adds a Garurumon to hand and an Omnimon. That's kind of cool, especially if you combo with Nokia. It's the blue Gabumon, so you can't. It's just fodder, basically. It's kind of neat because it is fodder for your Wear Garurumon here to delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. Works great for that, which is pretty cool. When it comes to the Crest Garurumon, though, you can only play purple level 3s, so it doesn't work with that one. But you can at least pop it with the other Garurumon, so there is other value there, as well as you can just swing with it and crash into security and get a free security check. Everyone knows Rookie Rush is a thing. There's a reason that's a thing. It's just you can do stuff like that, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, Nokia that can combo with that is kind of neat. But as well as just getting a free rookie on play to go into a level 4 with. So that's always awesome. And then reducing all of your Garurumons and Omnimon Evos by 1 is very, very powerful. So it works with Zort because Zort is a Omnimon. He's not like a Chaos Mon or anything like that. It does work there. All of your megas here are all Garurumons. Your big chunk of your level 5s are Garurumons. Your level 4s, a big chunk of your level 4s are Garurumons. So very advantageous card for sure. And then closing it out here with these last few cards, we've got the purple mat. Just the memory fixer is just so important in this. If you want, you could bump this up to 2. Wherever you feel like you should make a cut in the deck, go ahead and make that cut. And you can bump the mat up to 2 just because, yeah, being at 3 memory at the start of your turn is so important for your mega plays, as well as just going into your level 5s for their 3 memory cost. Mat is just great for all that, but particularly your megas. It's really important to be at 3 memory at the start of your turn. We do have lots of draw power early on in a lot of our inheritables, so that's good. To help us draw into the mat early on. Next, we got the Nailbone, and Nailbone is just an awesome card, especially when you get to play it for free. Metal Garurumon playing this for free. If you look at decks like Musketeers loves playing Nailbone because Nailbone is a good card. I mean, it is. It is a little expensive. 7 memory is a big chunk for bringing back 2 Digimon. Only a level 4 and a level 3. But your level 4s, your blockers, that sort of thing is great. Your on-play, any on-play effects that you might have for level 3s, Nailbone just works with great stuff. Also, the security effect of getting to bring out a level 4 or lower Digimon, if this is the last card in your security and your opponent hits that, thinks they're about to win, and you Nailbone and bring out a blocker, that's so, clutch, for real. So we've got this at a 3 of just because it's really good. And then lastly, we've got Trump Sword. 7 cost, if it's right where we want it to, being able to play it for free. I've really lost a lot of faith in Trump Sword. The only time I really like Trump Sword is when I get to play it for free in decks. So, this deck with the Metal Garurumon or Musketeers with BL Starmon, being able to play this for free, that's okay. Simply just because delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Most of the time, people are swinging these days. No one's leaving anything unsuspended anymore. So it's kind of hard to trigger Trump Sword at times. Now, if it hits in security and it's one of the first few checks, you can always kill something else on field that they haven't swung with yet. But it's probably not going to be their mega. They're probably going to swing with that first, and then you got to pop something lesser, which is a bit of a bummer. But hey, a pop is a pop, and it keeps you alive. So, but being able to play this for free, I'm okay with that. If I can play it for free, then that really gives me control on, it's not as much of a gamble anymore. So really like Trump Sword just as a three of. We've got 3 and 3 here. We've got the 3 Metal Garurumon here. So essentially, at our best, we could use all 6 of these in one game. Highly unlikely, but it is there. And then if you ever do need to play these guys, just hard play them for that 7 cost memory. If the opportunity presents itself, that's okay. They can still get you enough advantage, being able to clear anything, big of your opponents, like an Omnimon or something like that with Trump Sword. Nailbone, just being able to bring back a blocker and a rookie to like start building up whole new stacks with. That's solid as well. So that's going to do it for the deck profile. Again, we've got 2 different strategies here that work well together simply because the Nokia just brings it all together. The Garurumon packages, we're doing 2 different strategies, but with Nokia, we can meld them together and we can use them interchangeably, which is really cool just because we can reduce those Evo costs, which can be incredibly important for getting really big turns off just with a little bit of extra memory consistency, especially if you get multiple Nokias on field. Then you're reducing these Evo costs by 2, and that really mitigates the need for a card like Matt. Is if I can just make my Metal Garurumon a 1 cost Evo, then I don't need a memory fixer putting me at 3. So that's why we've got so many Nokias and only the 1 mat. And again, the 1 mat we can draw into pretty easily with all of our early draw cards here that we have, and also just when attacking draw cards that, effects that we can do to draw cards. It's okay to run those lower numbers there simply because we can draw so much in this deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would, please like the video and subscribe. Just a little bit of help goes a super long ways. It helps the channel out tremendously, gets my videos out there, gets them seen. And if you really want to support the channel, check out the links in the description below. I'll have a link for my Patreon, which is displayed right here. You can get access to my Discord server that I have, as well as you can get the memory markers that we've had. These are just a few of my favorites from the past that we've had. The current one, Impmon's baby, as well as Gabumon's baby as well, Sunomon and Yamon. These guys are super adorable. I definitely love them so much. And every month a new one changes out, so make sure you check that out. As well as we have our new playmats. This is why I recreated this video. It's because our playmats are here finally, and they are super cool. I alternate between the black and white every single month for whoever wants to support this tier, as well as I have a tier just higher than that, so that way you don't also have to lose out on a memory marker. You can get both the memory marker and the playmat just in case you want both. Super awesome support from everyone that has supported in the past and who will support in the future. You guys are awesome. Also, if you want to check out my merch, my Teespring link is in the description below for that. We've got the shirts that I wear on the channel that has the logo across. I love when I see people representing my merch in public. It is like one of the coolest feelings I've ever had in my entire life. Very awesome. As well as phone cases for you people that love Digimon like so much like I do. A friend of mine custom made all these to fit these specific phone cases themselves, so the prices are a little bit higher just because I have to pay her back, as well as make a little tiny bit of profit because of how much unfortunately they take for their cut for Teespring. But like I said, if you can't do any of that, please just like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every time we hit a new mile marker for subscriptions, I give out free merch of all different types. 2000K, I think we're doing one of the playmat giveaways. So definitely be subscribed and ready for when that comes.